Hello everyone, myself Sneha Shah from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Today I will explain you some topics of the analysis of linear time invariant system from the subject of digital signal processing. The first topic is frequency response of LTI system. To find out frequency response of LTI system, we will starting from, suppose if I am taking any LTI system, if we are applying input signal as x of n to derive the output signal y of n, the response of this system is considered as h of n. So how we will find out the output y of n? Y of n equals to convolution of two sequences, means x of n is convolved with h of n. You know this term, right? Now by using commutative property of this convolution, we can also write this term as h of n is convolved with x of n. So there is no change in between these two terms. Now if we are writing the equation of this term, it will representing a summation of the first term will be as it is with dummy variable, means instead of n we will write down k. The another term is folded, means we will write down minus k. Then shifting means plus n, multiplication, and at last we will do summation. Now in this the term of h is in the form of k, so we will take summation of k for the entire range, means for k equals to minus infinite to infinite. So by using this equation we can find out the frequency response of any LTI system. So starting from the convolution output, we will write down that y of n equals to summation k equals to minus infinite to infinite h of k x of n minus k. Now in this equation, let we are taking the input x of n as any exponential signal, then the exponential signal will be representing like this e raised to j omega n. When we will taking it in terms of discrete time signal, right? So over here if I am writing n, so it will representing as x of n. Now if we will representing this term with phase angle, then it will representing like this e raised to j omega n plus phi. And if we are representing its amplitude, then it will return like this a into e raised to j omega n plus phi. Now in this equation the requirement of n minus k. So we will replacing this n by n minus k. So replacing n by n minus k. So this equation will becomes like this: x of n minus k equals to a e raised to j omega. Instead of n I will write n minus k plus phi. Now if I am simplifying this term, it will representing like this: a into e raised to j into omega n. This term will representing like minus omega k plus phi. Now if we will putting this value in the above equation, then if we will putting this value in this equation, then it will representing like this: y of n equals to summation k equals to minus infinite to infinite, h of k will be as it is. Instead of x of n minus k we will put this term, means a into e raised to j omega n minus j omega k plus phi, right? Now you can see that this value will be rearranged like this: e raised to, suppose if you are given that e raised to j plus jb plus jc, then you can write down like this: e raised to j into e raised to jb into e raised to jc. Or you can also write down this term as e raised to j into e raised to jb plus jc. So we will use this type of function to representing this e raised to something part. So for that I will write the next step as y of n equals to summation k equals to minus infinite to infinite h of k a into e raised to minus j omega n plus phi into e raised to minus j omega k. So the next step is y of n equals to summation k equals to minus infinite to infinite h of k A is constant, so it will be outside of this summation. E raised to j omega n plus phi will be as it is into e raised to minus j omega k. Now from this equation you can see that this term is constant because this one is the summation of k. So this term will be outside of this summation. So we will write like this: a into e raised to j omega n plus phi summation k equals to minus infinite to infinite h of k e raised to minus j omega k. Now you can see that from this equation we can say that from definition of Fourier transform, we can say that when we are taking h of k summation, then it will gives you h of omega when we will multiplying it with e raised to minus j omega n term. Now this will be in terms of k, so instead of n we will put over here as k. So this term will representing as e raised to minus j omega k, and the summation of k for the range of minus infinite to infinite. So this one is h of omega. So instead of this term we will put h of omega. So this term will representing like this: a h of omega into e raised to j omega n plus phi. So this is the final answer of y of n by using this equation. This equation is in terms of omega, right? So it is considered as frequency response. So by using this equation we can find out the frequency response of any LTI system. Now the next topic is frequency response of rational system function. Now if you want to find out frequency response of any rational system, it will be representing in terms of magnitude response and the phase response. So to find out magnitude response, we should take mode of z value, and to find out phase response we will taking the phase angle of the z value. So starting with frequency scale on the unit circle. So suppose if I am representing the value of z, you know that the value of z equals to r into e raised to j omega. This one is in the form of polar. Now in this equation, if I am taking the value of r equals to mod z equals to 1, it means on the unit circle if I am representing the frequency response, then we can find out its magnitude as magnitude of z will representing as mod of z, and the value of mod of z equals to under root of real part of z square plus imaginary part of z square. Means when we will consider as z as a complex number, then if you want to find out magnitude of this, then we will take mod of this. And how we will finding the magnitude? Magnitude will be found by using under root of real part of z square plus imaginary part of z square. And if you want to find out phase angle, it will be representing as angle of z equals to tan inverse of imaginary part of z upon real part of z. So by using these two equations, we can find out the magnitude response and the phase angle response, means phase response or angle response of any rational system function. Now if it will be representing on this unit circle, suppose if I am taking this one as a unit circle, then how will representing it on the unit circle? So suppose if I am taking horizontal axis as a real part of z and the vertical axis as imaginary part of z, and this one radius of this equals to r equals to mod of z equals to 1, r equals to mod of z equals to 1. So what will be the value of, first of all, what is the phase angle? Suppose if I am representing this as a phase angle omega, then why we had taken this as a omega? Because we can say that r into e raised to j theta, right? So instead of theta we had written omega. So this one is the phase angle. Now if we will finding the value of omega, over here phase angle equals to 0, 90 degree means it will representing as a pi by 2, omega equals to 180 means pi, and over here the value of omega equals to 3 pi by 2. Now suppose if you want to find out the value of point at this value of z at this point, then z is representing as x on the x-axis, the value of it equals to 1 and value of y equals to 0. So this point is representing 1 0, this point will representing as 0 1, this point will representing z as minus 1 0, and this will be representing as z 0 minus 1. So locating the position of magnitude or angle on this unit circle, this one is unit circle, we can find out the frequency response of rational system functions. Now the next topic is system functions for system with linear constant coefficient difference equations. Now how will representing it? So you know that y of n equals to x of n convolved with h of n for any system, right? Now to find out the linear constant coefficient difference equation, first of all we will take z transform of this. So y of n will convert in terms of y of z, x of n will convert in terms of x of z, h of n will convert in terms of h of z. And as you know that if we are convolving two signals in the time domain, then corresponding to it multiplication in the z domain. So by using this convolution property, we can write down y of z equals to x of z into h of z. Now from this, if we want to find out h of z, the value of h of z equals to this go over here. So y of z means output upon input. So y of z upon x of z. So by using this equation, we can derive the linear constant coefficient difference equation. Now suppose for any example, if you had given h of z equals to, suppose you had given that 1 minus z inverse upon 1 plus 2z inverse plus 3z raised to minus 2. So this will be equated by y of z upon x of z, cross multiply this, and then taking the inverse z transform of this to derive the equation in this form, y of n and x of n. Suppose this one is in terms of y of n minus 3 minus y of n minus 1 plus 3, x of n equals to x of n plus 3 x of n minus 1. So this way we can derive the final difference equation. So for this, first of all we have to take, suppose if we are given the value of h of z, first of all consider it as a y of z upon x of z, then cross multiply it and then take inverse z transform to derive this constant coefficient difference equation. Now the next topic is system with linear phase. Now what is the meaning of this? System with linear phase means, suppose if I am taking any FIR filter, so for any FIR filter, the system will be considered as symmetric if, suppose if I am taking any system as a symmetrical or even function, means x of n equals to x of minus n, right? So suppose if you want to find out that whether the system is with linear phase or not, for that if we are taking it as a symmetric, then its response should be symmetric. So we can say that h of n should be equals to h of minus n. So suppose from 0, if we are taking n terms, so it should be same as minus n terms. So if these two will be same, then we can say that if this condition is fulfilled, then we can say that it is symmetrical. But over here we had taken from the point of 0. Now suppose if I am taking other than 0, suppose if I am taking from 1, so this part should be equals to this part. If it will be symmetric to this point, then it is considered a system with linear phase. So for this, first of all we will consider that the number of terms, it is considered as m, which is the order of any system filter. So if we are starting from 0, then the last point is considered as m minus 1. So this condition will consider as h of minus n plus m minus 1. So after m minus 1 term, it will be same as the original term. It means h of n minus n. So starting with condition of FIR filter is symmetric if it follows the following condition. Now what is the condition? H of n should be equals to h of m minus 1 minus n. Over here the value of n equals to 0, 1, 2 up to m minus 1. Now in this, suppose if I am taking, we are taking m equals to 8, and if we are starting from n equals to 0. So for n equals to 0, if I am putting n equals to 0 over here, so h of 0 equals to 0, and this term is 8. 8 minus 1 means 7. So h of 7. Similarly, if we are finding for n equals to 1, this term will becomes equals to h of 1 equals to, over here term is 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 2. 8 minus 2 means h of 6. So this way we can derive the whole terms for the symmetric condition. Now the next point is, suppose if I am taking FIR filter is antisymmetric. Now what is the meaning of antisymmetric? Antisymmetric means odd function, right? So for odd function we will write down h of n equals to minus of this, means minus of h of m minus 1 minus n. Over here also value of n equals to 0, 1, 2 up to m minus 1. Now if you want to find out the phase of FIR filter, then it will representing as angle of h of omega equals to minus omega m minus 1 by 2. This one is for mode h of omega which is greater than 0. And for mode h of omega less than 0, its value is minus omega m minus 1 by 2 plus pi. So when we will adding with pi, it will giving you the value for mode h of omega is less than 0. Now if we will consider the combined condition of linear phase, then the combined condition for linear phase will be representing as h of n equals to plus or minus h of m minus 1 minus n. It means if I am taking this as a plus value, so h of n equals to h of m minus 1 minus n. It means it is considered as symmetric, and if I am taking minus value means h of n equals to minus of this. So h of n equals to minus of this means it is considered as antisymmetric system. Now the next, if I am taking FIR filter, then any FIR filter can be characterized by its Z transform, which is h of z equals to summation k equals to 0 to m minus 1 h of k z raised to minus k. Over here we are taken the range as 0 to m minus 1 because we are taking the finite impulse response filter instead of infinite filter response. Now here the value of m is considered as length of the filter and m minus 1 is considered as order of filter. Now there are some basic conditions for magnitude response of this. The first condition is if I am taking the value of m is odd and symmetric, then the term will be representing as mode of h of e raised to j omega equals to h of m minus 1 by 2 plus 2 times summation n equals to 0 to m minus 3 by 2 h of n cos omega m minus 1 by 2 minus n. So by using this equation we can find out its magnitude response of this filter. Now the next condition is if m is odd but now it is antisymmetric, then instead of cos we have to put sine value. It means mode of h of e raised to j omega, its value is h of m minus 1 by 2 plus 2 times summation n equals to 0 to m minus 3 by 2 h of n sine m minus 1 by 2 minus n into omega. So instead of cos we have taken sine, so it is considered as antisymmetric. Now the third condition is if m is even and symmetric, then we will take only this part. So mode of h of e raised to j omega will be representing as 2 times summation n equals to 0 to m by 2 minus 1 h of n cos m minus 1 by 2 minus n into omega. Similarly, if we will taking the last condition as if m is odd M is even and antisymmetric, then it will representing as instead of this cos we will take sine value. So mod h of e raised to j omega, h of e raised to j omega will representing as 2 times summation n equals to 0 to m by 2 minus 1 h of n sine m minus 1 by 2 minus n into omega. So by using these equations we can find out the linear phase response of any FIR filter. Thank you.